Hey everybody, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume this beginner's guide for a caster in Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup here in 2020 on version 0.25 online with our beautiful Ogre Venom Mage. Took care of Swamp 3. Now it's just time to go down and start messing around in Swamp 4. Alright. So let's see. We are working on our iron shot and our armor. And we're going to just go ahead and poison this guy. And he'll come onto the screen and we can use our arrow to finish him. Let's just use stone arrow on this fine spiny frog as well. Go up the steps and rest. Get the poison off of us. Continue our exploration. There's a couple of longbows, which are really powerful weapons, but not what we're going to be using right now. Alright, let me get my magic points back. Now this leech is on to us. Let me just try to stand here for a moment. There we go. Alright, here's the Tyrant Leech. So let's just give him Vapors. And give him Vapors again. Now I'm going to cast Iron Shot. Or try to. There we go. And we blasted him. Now let me just look at Iron Shot and remind myself. Iron Shot is only a bit loud, but you can see that we immediately got hungry when we cast it, because the spell hunger is very substantial for that spell. But let's just eat this guy, and we'll be fine. Oh, what's this demon whip? Is this just a regular demon whip lying around? Yeah. Demon whips are great, though, by the way. Oh, my pack is full. Okay. Well, we've got our kite shield of reflection that we're going to be wearing at some point here. I'm going to start dumping some stuff. So I think enchant weapon can safely be dropped. And I want to look at my list of scrolls. So I'm pushing the / above the enter key to bring up the recognized items screen. And then I'm going to push the minus key to kind of go to unrecognized and scroll down to scrolls, and the only ones that I could get here are acquirement, brand weapon, holy word, and silence. So how many identifies do I have? I only have one. That's a shame, but I am going to actually identify this scroll, and it is thank the maker acquirement. Acquirement is a scroll that you get, and it comes up in this beautiful light blue color in your text box, and just like the potion of experience reads as well in terms of its color, they have reworked how acquirement scrolls function in this version, and you might not be familiar with it, but they have made them even better in my opinion. And so we're going to read our acquirement scroll and look at our choices. We could get an uncursed ring of wizardry, which is terrible, a staff of air, which is interesting if we were going to use air magic, or a tower shield of protection, 390 gold or 7 rations. This is actually not a super exciting list, but that tower shield of protection is what I'm going to take. And with an acquirement scroll, you get to actually choose which one you want. And then you make your selection and it will appear at your feet. But something really cool about these scrolls that you might not know is that you can actually just push the escape button and cancel the spell. And you don't lose your scroll. And when you recast the acquirement, you will get the same list of items. And so you can save it for later. Or you can kind of look at all your gear before you make your final decision. So it's just an outstanding item to get, and I am going to pick this because it's the best. And it's actually better than my Shield of Reflection in the sense that a tower shield is better at defending us overall. However, it does impact our spell casting even more, so we're not going to be using it right away. I'm going to drop this Scroll of Enchant Weapon. I'm also going to drop this Potion of Berserk Rage. And I don't think this Wand of Enslavement is going to do anything for us anymore. I think that enemies are not going to be impressed by that wand. Okay, so this is time for us to immediately pause and take inventory of what's happened here. We have just found Mara, who is a unique enemy and is extremely dangerous. He's red, as you can see. And what Mara does is make a copy of you to fight you. And you can see that the illusion of me, Dr. Incompetent's illusion that he has made here, has a weapon of venom and is me. Has my spell kit, is exactly me. And so that's terrifying. There's 2 red enemies now on the screen. Killing my illusion is hard and gives you no experience, by the way. So I'm going to just back away and see what goes on here. Okay. Now let me show you Mara. So Mara can cast the illusion and can summon enemies. More Maras, I believe. Let me look at that. Mara summon. Weaves illusions of the caster. Such illusions have the same physical prowess as the original and can cast the same spells. So that's terrible. And the main spell he's got there for damage is Bolt of Fire and Pain. Okay? So Mara is a tall and powerful demon, the Lord of Illusions, mighty among dreamers. And Mara can wreck you. Sometimes Mara's really easy. If you're a melee character and you appear next to Mara and Mara hasn't had time to start casting illusions, you can chop through Mara pretty quickly. But in this space, before we could even do anything, Mara cast the illusion, and now there's 2 spellcasters on the screen against us. So this is bad. Now let me go back to Mara. He's resistant to poison. So that's bad. And so we have to think, how can we kill Mara? Well, I'm going to try something here that is probably ill-advised, but we're going to most likely teleport away from this situation. But I'm going to evoke, and I'm going to use a Phantom Mirror on Mara. And then now, we have our own Mara that is right here. And it's our ally. And, the illusion of us has blinked over here. And I'm going to now control my copy of Mara. Let me show you my... So this is what the Phantom Mirror does if you've never done it before. It makes a copy of the enemy that you select if you can copy them. Alright? And he has a Demon Blade of Draining, and he has been lightly drained already because I think Mara hit him. But he's got all the stuff, this illusion, that Mara has. Alright. Now it's time to do some other work on Mara. But first I'm going to push T And T is the command for yelling. And it allows you to give commands to your allies. And I'm going to push T, and I'm going to tell my ally to attack a new target by pushing A. And I'm going to select Mara and have my illusion start fighting. Now, it blinked, or Mara blinked. I'm not sure if my replica has blinked away, but anyway, I'm going to cast, I can't quite do that. Can I hit you with acid, or are you too far away? Too far away for that. All right. I'm going to hit Mara over here with an ice blast and see if that hurts Mara. Then I'm going to hit Mara with stone arrow. And I'm going to try to actually just hit Mara really hard with iron shot. And I miscast it. Let's try iron shot one more time. All right. So now we did cast it successfully and hit Mara, and Mara's been hurt, but now Mara has replicated itself 3 times. And there's 3 Maras on the screen, my illusion, and the replica I have made. So this is a pretty hilarious moment. And this is a time where I'm just going to read a scroll of teleportation. To start getting away from this. Okay. Now, let me see which one is the real Mara. And this is what's tricky. You don't know. So I'm going to Ice Blast just right here. Okay. And Mara has taken damage. 1 Mara has blinked away. Alright. I'm going to hit this Mara with a stone arrow. And I'm casting, by the way, and I'm not worried because I'm going to teleport at some point here. I'm actually going to just step away. Oh, Mara ignited poison. That was very rude. But anyway, here we are on this square, and I'm going to rest, move over here, and rest. The fire bat's nearby, huh? Okay. I teleported to an interesting square here. But the important thing is I'm safe from Mara. Mara is down here somewhere, and now I am in the inner ring of the swamp, probably by the rune, I believe. How many mapping scrolls do I have? I have 3. I'm going to go ahead and read my scroll of mapping. Okay. So, what we can tell by looking at this is that this is indeed the bottom floor of the swamps, and you can tell that because there's 3 staircases up, these teal dots, but there is no staircase down. So now you're like, okay, this is the bottom floor, and the bottom floor of the swamp contains the rune. We can look at the map and get a good idea of where the rune is, and I think it's probably somewhere here in the center, protected by these walls. So that's worth exploring. But first, we've got to take care of these bats. Are these bats immune to poison? No. So we can just cast Mephitic Cloud and Stone Arrow and Mephitic Cloud. Alright. Actually, I'm going to just Toxic Radiance and just wait. Toxic Radiance again. Okay. And most of them are dead, but now there's an 8-headed Hydra on the screen, and I don't want to see that. Alright. This square, by the way, has been marked for travel exclusion because there was an exploding fireball on it. I'm just going to move away from it. But whenever you're standing near lava, the area around it can burst into flames, so just be mindful of that. I'm going to go ahead and Toxic Radiance and just wait. I'll do it again on these fire bats, and it pretty much devastates these guys. Okay. And then I can just sting them, probably. Alright. So they've died. Oh boy. Alright, there's a fire dragon. Now, if I look at my resistances, I'm not really good against fire. But I can drink this potion of resistance. And now you can see that I have 1 pip of resistance to everything going. So this will help us in this spot. Let's look at the fire dragon, and you'll notice that he's resistant to poison, but not immune. Alright. So what do we want to do to this guy? Alright. I think we want to just give him some... I'm actually going to try to give him an iron shot. There he goes. You can see it did like half of his health there. So let's just give him a blast of stone arrow. I'm going to give him iron shot. There we go. I needed to kill him really, really fast there, and we did. I'm going to chop him up and eat him. And we're just going to kind of try to wait for a moment. But we're so close to the rune, I believe, that dragons are just filling in this space. And we have to be super careful. How many potions? I have a potion of magic, which is nice. Alright. So this dragon doesn't actually see us. So I'm going to step down here and step here and try to just kind of get my stuff back. He does see me now. So we can fight this swamp dragon. This is fine. He's hurt. I think the fire clouds are doing damage to him over the lava, so that's really good for us. Now, what we need to be mindful of is making sure that that fire crab and the 8-headed hydra don't sneak around and add on, because I'm not at full health or at full magic points. In fact, I'm kind of at a scary place, so I'm trying to figure out what kind of spells I want to use. He's so far away. I'm just going to throw a javelin at him. And then now I can probably... No, not yet. I'm going to throw one more javelin. And then I'm going to hit him with stone arrow. He has stepped out of view. And he's back. And we will just... I'm going to actually try to iron shot him. There you go. And it kills him. This is the power of iron shot. I'm not great with it. It has a pretty uncomfortable fail rate. But it hits hard. Alright? Okay, I'm going to step in here. I'm going to step on his body and move over here and try to rest. There we go. All right. Now, there's a strawberry down there, but there's something underneath it. If you ever see an item with white lines, white diagonal lines in the lower left corner, like this strawberry here, that means that there's something else there. And it says there's something lying beneath. And you can... Well, how can you see what's lying beneath? Huh. I'm sure there's a way to do that. Maybe you have to actually step on it. Well, here's what I'm going to do. Regardless, I'm going to apportate that berry. Do I have apportation with this character? Let me see. Do I have apportation? Let me look. No. So I don't have apportation, unfortunately. Apportation is a spell that, like, brings things to you with telekinesis. So I could just, like, reach across the lava with my magical hand and pick that up. Or bring it to me. But it's a low-level spell. It's a great translocation spell. I just don't have it. But there's a spell book that does have it, so I might want to get it later. I'm pretty sure that that is the rune, though, underneath that strawberry hiding there. Oh boy, here's some bats. So let's just give these bats Toxic Radiance. Now remember, we can't ignite poison against these guys because they're fire bats, so they don't care about fire. But we can Stone Arrow them while they die of poison. Alright. I gotta walk into this dangerous area, and yes, the decaying rune of Zot was underneath that berry. Alright, so if you get this particular layout of the swamp, and remember, every layout of the swamp is unique, and yet some of them have certain patterns for the seed of what the vault looks like for the rune. If you get this one with the lava, there's a windy path around it. You never have to like fly to get there. You can always walk. And the rune is just sitting in the hardest spot to get, protected by enemies that we were able to kill. Now, another thing is, you got to be mindful that it's going to be stacked underneath that item, so you kind of have to explore. But I just had a feeling. Alright, I'm going to give him Iron Shot, and then I'm just going to Stone Arrow him. It's not working, so I'm going to Iron Shot him. There we go. Alright, so he did a lot of damage to us. So let's go down here and kind of hide while I recover. And here's a Swamp Dragon, but you'll notice he's almost dead. He's like stupidly flying over the flames. So let's just let him do that. And then when he gets close enough, we'll just Stone Arrow him to death. And then just kind of rest. This Alligator 2 is almost dead from poison. I'm sorry, fire. So let's just give him Stone Arrow and he's dead. Now here comes the Hydra, which I don't really want to deal with right now. He didn't see us though, so I can get my health back. Oops, alright, we got to get out of the fire. The lava has exploded. Alright, and I'm going to do something that might be a little awkward, but there's a very good probability that I simply leave the swamp at this point. And you might be asking, well, why would you do that? And the answer is because I've got the rune. And Mara is here. And I don't really know if I want to fight Mara. I'm just casting Sandblast, by the way, to use a very, very efficient spell that costs like 1 magic point. I'm going to eat. And I'm going to pick up this Scroll of Enchant Weapon, but I don't really want it. I'm going to drop this scroll. And I'm going to go here into my recognized items, and I'm going to turn off Enchant Weapon. I don't want to pick that up anymore. I don't need that. If I ever want it, I can get more later. All right, I'm going to go hide from this dragon. There's a staircase up here that I want to get to, and there's a staircase up here. I could very well explore this level to try to find some treasure. But the problem is, Mara is here. I'm going to just Iron Shot this dragon into oblivion. He does have Fire Dragon scales, which are cool. But the only problem with Fire Dragon or Ice Dragon scales is that they make you vulnerable to the opposing element while giving you protection from the element that they are. Oh, Swamp Worm. And yet, I don't have very good resistance, so I can't wear that. Okay. Good. Now, this is an executive decision, but I feel personally that Mara is too dangerous for me right now, and I don't want to risk dying. I got the rune. I got what I came for. I don't think that there is any extraordinary treasure on this level. There could be, but I already went into the rune vault, and there was a strawberry. So I'm just going to say we came, we saw, we conquered most of it, and just leave and be happy with the rune. All right, so now we've got the rune, and it's our decision to see where we want to go next. And we pretty much want to go into the spider's nest, but let me look at myself. I can see invisible now. That's right, because of my crown. So one of the main things that's difficult about the spider's nest is poison, which I already resist, and seeing invisible, because there's these enemies in there called ghost moths, which are really, really annoying and can mess you up, lowering your stats, doing all kinds of evil stuff to you if you can't see them, but we can. The only other two main concerns that come to mind for me with the spider's nest outside of those are orbs of destruction from orb spiders, and we're going to be wearing a shield to help protect against those, and then emperor scorpions, which are just very, very formidable foes. So let me look at this. If I wanted to just wear my kite shield of protection right now, it would mean that my spells are very, very hard to use. Iron Shot would be completely off the table, and so Blink would be hard, but everything else is not bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove my shield. I'm going to look at my skills. Yeah. I'm going to need to start leveling up shields at some point. There's no getting around it. So to do that, I think what I'm going to do is actually just go to the main dungeon. Oh, here's a swamp dragon. Let's just kill this guy to get some experience. I'm just going to wait and iron shot him. And we got some experience. I'm going to go to the main dungeon and clear a little bit of the main dungeon to get some more experience before going into the spider's nest, because I'd really, really love to get a shield on, because a shield helps you. You can block orbs of destruction, which are these like massive purple death balls that orb spiders weave that do an insane amount of damage. And you can even reflect them, which is hilarious. And if you block them or reflect them, you take no damage. And that's quite good. So let's try to get that going. But in order to do that, we need a little bit more experience. Oh, here's a book of summoning. Oh, and there's Summon Lightning Spire is a great spell. I don't think we really need it, but it's a cool spell. Here's a two-headed ogre. Alright, let's just give him Iron Shot a couple of times. Or let's try to. Oh, come on now. I gave him Stone Arrow at the end there. And I'm just basically spamming Stone Arrow on these dudes. Now, two-headed ogre requires a little bit more speed. So I used 2 Iron Shots up front there to soften him up. And then once I realized that I hadn't been hurt very much and he was about to die, I just switched over to the more efficient spell. It's a bunch of gnolls. The main dungeon is funny because when you get to this depth, like, it varies so dramatically in terms of how difficult the enemies are. And this is the case until you get to what I would say is Dungeon 12. Beyond Dungeon 12, things start to just ratchet up in difficulty. The enemies that you could encounter become harder and harder and harder. So, no, don't ignore that. Let me drop some stuff. I'm going to drop these robes of the Yeti. I'm not wearing them. I'm going to drop this Staff of Cold. I'm not using it. This Staff of Energy, I'm not using it. Now, I think it is worth just quickly observing, if I were to wear this Kite Shield, and then I were to wield instead this Staff of Wizardry, how are my spells looking now? They're actually looking really good. Blink is at 5%, Iron Shot's at 26%. So that's something to worth considering. I'm going to switch back to my Poison Staff, because Poison isn't really what we're using very much anymore. However, ironically, I probably will use the Poison Staff in the Spider's Nest just to give myself protection from poison. So maybe that play isn't the best in terms of trying to Staff of Wizardry. It's just something to consider. And you can make up your own mind on like what you want to do. All right, we need to, there we go. I wanted to make sure to kill that slime before it merged, because bigger slimes are way more dangerous. I'm just walking away to get my magic points back until we can just kill this dude. All right, there we go. Remember when the slime almost killed me? Or no, actually I think he did kill my other ogre. But now we have a 25 armor class because of these +4 Pearl Dragon scales. So we are really, really stout. And we have an 8.7 armor skill thanks to our Manual of Armor. Let's blast some people. Blast the mana core down. It's Yaks. Alright. Yeah, we're getting so strong that I'm just hitting people with my staff. It's pretty funny. By the way, this Staff of Poison, if you hit people with it, and you have a high evocation skill and poison skill, I believe, you actually can poison them if they're susceptible to poison. So, just a nice little extra way to do damage when you need some extra damage, because you've run out of MP. Now, Vehumit's offering us Yara's Violent Unraveling, which is a spell that I'm not going to learn, but thanks anyway. We stepped on a alarm trap, I guess, and we've been marked, so I'm going to go up the stairs and just rest until the mark is gone, then come back and continue exploring. There's never any sense in wandering around with a mark on you, because you're alerting all the enemies where you are, and even easy enemies can become difficult en masse, so you don't want to invite disaster upon yourself. I'm kind of cruising right now, but this is the danger of dungeon crawl. The game will lull you into a stupor at certain points where you feel really powerful and you feel like everything's going your way, and then all of a sudden the difficulty can spike up and you're dead. And so an alarm trap is something like that, where you think, oh, this is no problem, so what, I got marked, and then you just die. You need to still respect the game and be careful. The #1 killer in dungeon crawl is always hubris, thinking that you can do something that you cannot, and the game will teach you really fast to be cautious and respect it. So it's a constant battle for myself as a player to not feel overpowered and to rein myself in and have some humility with my character so that I can play cautiously and not die. Alright, that's a good lesson to end with, everybody, and we just cleared Dungeon 12, so I think we'll now head on over to the Spider's Nest and see how it goes, and see if we do need the shield or not. Make that decision in real time as we adjust to the difficulty of the nest. Everyone, I want to thank you so much for watching this episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup Beginner Caster Guide here in 2020. I hope you have an excellent evening or day. As always, post any questions that you might have in the comments below. And if you haven't seen, I'm kind of spreading the message about this now. I have opened up a Discord channel for our YouTube channel, basically. But it's more than that, and it's allows everything for Dr. Incompetent to be in one place so that you can see when I'm streaming, what videos have posted. You can message me. You can chat with games. You can suggest games to be played. You can get tips and strategy. All kinds of great resources, get information about the channel are available there if you'd like to join. That would be fantastic. There is a link in the description below, and also you can just click on the Discord link on the YouTube banner for the channel and hop on over to the Discord. All right, everybody. I hope you have a good one. Take care.